On today's episode of Would Jamie Eat It, we're actually changing Would Jamie Eat It to Would Jamie Drink It. Hit it.
All right, welcome back to Would Jamie Drink It? We're changing it up a little bit here today on episode number 24. I am Barkley. With me, as always, is our resident nutrition fist pumping, Jamie, the real deal. Rothermick, our resident nutrition expert. What we want to talk about today is a pretty basic and vital element to all of our lives, and that is water. And we'll narrow down that focus a little bit here in a little bit to bottled water, but just tell us in general, bring us all back to our core here as to, a couple basic reasons as to why water should be so high on our priority list on a daily basis.
So I think superficially we prioritize water, but when it comes to actually taking action, I think we lack in general.
Right.
If we understood the true importance of water and what it actually accomplishes for our bodies, I think we would be a bit more serious about it.
Yep.
So our bodies are 80% water to begin. It is part of every chemical reaction that takes place, from gaining muscle to losing body fat to breathing, brain function, you name it. Moving, thinking, everything. It's part of every process that takes place. It is also the transport highway for all nutrients and oxygen to every cell that we are made of.
Okay.
So if our cells don't get nutrients and oxygen, what happens?
Bad stuff. Mutations.
They die. They can die. So it is so important. But the point that I want to make about water is that it is a universal solvent, which is a good thing or it can be a bad thing.
Right.
It takes in whatever it really comes into contact with, meaning if it's the minerals that are way beneath the ground and it's flowing past, it'll pick them up, and that's a good thing for us. But it can be a bad thing if, for example, it's been stored in something that is broken down.
And that brings us right into exactly what we want to talk about today. That's a perfect transition, man. Nice work. We want to talk about bottled water specifically. And this whole topic of water we could probably talk for days on, but let's just narrow the focus a little bit.
Okay.
Nothing about this brand, just bottled water in general, the good, the bad, and the Jamie verdict. Would he, does he drink it?
All right. So the good is that bottled water is so convenient.
Yes.
I mean, we consume millions of bottles of water per year. It's water. It's going to hydrate us, right? But the bad is that plastic is light sensitive, which means that light breaks plastic down. Is this BPA free?
It doesn't appear to be.
I don't believe it is, and most of these bottles are not. There are a lot out there that are, but most of these are not, which means that bisphenol A, or BPA, gets broken down and the water brings it into itself. So we drink that. But what does BPA do in our bodies? BPA is a xenoestrogen, meaning that it's an estrogen-like compound that binds to our estrogen receptors, whether you're manly man like Barkley here, or female, doesn't matter, which can make us estrogen dominant. And very simply, when our estrogen levels or hormone levels are not in equilibrium, disease and sickness can occur. So over the course of time, this can build up in our system. So the verdict is I will not drink bottled water. Doesn't mean I never have, because maybe I've forgotten my glass bottle, or I am just getting dehydrated from a run or whatever it is. But in general, I will not drink bottled water. From a plastic bottle like this.
I'm still kind of hung up on the estrogen dominant thing. It doesn't sound like a good thing for a manly man like me.
It's not.
I may
and I can see it's probably happened to you a little bit.
All right. So there you go. Bringing it back to earth for us a little bit from perspective of this whole bottled water stuff. Really good information there. Thank you, Jamie. Thanks to everybody for watching. If you liked what you saw today, please click the like button, the share button. Let us know. Send us your comments, not only on water or questions, anything to do with nutrition, any kind of ideas for submissions for upcoming episodes. We want to hear from you. Facebook.com/WoodJamieEat It.
One thing I want to add is probably the best way to go about this, because we didn't really cover it earlier, is you're probably going to ask, well, what do I drink, right? If you want to avoid plastic bottles, I would suggest getting a filter. There are different levels. We won't go into that. That could be a whole nother episode. And filling up glass bottles, because glass will not leach into our water.
There you go. Leach free here on Would Jamie Eat It. We'll see you next episode.